Alright gents, the time has finally come. Path of Exile 2's 0.5 patch is just around the corner. Hug your significant others, bribe them if you need to. Friday, we log in. We don't log out till Sunday afternoon, okay? This is a real big deal here. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is get you ready for the patch and tell you 10 big changes coming in 0.5. Number 1, the crafting nerf. Let's start with the hot topic of the recent announcement of the crafting nerfs GGG has made to the crafting systems already in Path of Exile 2. You are now no longer able to put more than one guaranteed crafted modifier on an item at a time. This does not include desecrated mods, but it does include all essence mods and presumably some of the new crafting items and ruins coming in 0.5. Now what does this really mean? Well, it means early to mid-game weapons are going to be much weaker and rely much more on RNG. Mere-tier weapons shouldn't be affected, but martial weapons and quivers in particular are going to be much harder to craft on a budget, especially in the early endgame. Giga L. Number 2, corruption has changed. GGG has also removed the corruption omen from the game that guaranteed that an item you are about to corrupt will have some sort of change, whether it adds a modifier or divines your item. They also changed how corruption works, by stating, the corruption outcome that randomizes the numeric value of the modifiers on an item beyond the normal range now multiplies each modifier based on the current value instead of randomizing the value. What this means is you will want to divine your item so the modifiers have high rolls before you val the item. For example, you can no longer roll a 37 ingenuity off a 22 base due to how it scales, and it scales more like sanctification now. Number 3, added 3 new Atlas Masters, Hilda, Jardo, and Doriani. All 3 of these masters offer different advantages and changes the way that your mapping experience will be. They have presets to save your favorite buffs, so you can easily click on any given master to add those buffs to the maps you are about to run. An example of a buff is adding an extra portal to your map. This does come with the downside of less loot though, so choose your modifiers wisely. Number 4, the core league mechanics have all been reworked. Breach, Ritual, Expedition, and Delirium are all getting reworked endgame quests, new bosses, crafting materials, and unique rewards for investing and running these mechanics. All 4 of the endgame quests will lead you to your first fight versus the pinnacle bosses of each league. One example of a new crafting system coming in 0.5 would be the Genesis Tree. The Genesis Tree from PoE 1 Breach is officially coming to PoE 2, and it looks much bigger. This leads me to my next big change. Number 5. Brand new bases. Every patch adds some sort of new bases to the game, and some of the previews we got this time around look insane. For example, the Genesis Tree can drop new jewelry types, one of which is an Absent Amulet, which has -1 prefix and suffix, but you can roll any spirit gem in the game on the implicit. This amulet will be very powerful for a lot of builds. Saving you 100 spirit potentially from an amulet, that's huge. Number 6, Atlas Tree Rework. The Atlas Tree has been totally reworked and now has over 300 new Atlas points, and the mini trees for each league has also been reworked and expanded. This is going to lead to entirely new mapping strategies and ways players engage with each of the core mechanics in the game. This change does include the last 2 leagues, the Abyss and the Val Temple. Number 7, new Pinnacle questline, the Origins of Divinity. This patch is also introducing a brand new endgame quest called the Origins of Divinity, centered around the new area called the Fortress. This is where you unlock your Atlas Tree points, and at the end of your quest you face a brand new Pinnacle boss, the Arbiter of Divinity. This questline seems to be its own mini-story that you get to experience once you reach maps. Number 8, new league, Ruins of Eldur and Runic Powers. Outside of some minor details, GGG hasn't given much information on the new league mechanic, the Ruins of Eldur. What we do know is we'll be getting 25 Calgarian skills, a ton of new ruins and crafting materials added to the game, as well as new monsters that spawn in your map with new runic powers. I expect some of the new ways to add power to your gear will be pretty powerful due to some of the nerfs GGG did to the older crafting materials and methods. Number 9, new uniques, maps, and ascendancies. New uniques and maps are a staple for new PoE patches. In 0.5 we'll be getting 30 new maps, 30 new uniques, and 2 new ascendancies. The Ascendancies are the Spirit of the Walker for the Huntress and the Martial Artist for the Monk. The Martial Artist in particular sounds very powerful. I expect a large part of the community to league start this character in 0.5. Number 10, campaign changes. The last big change coming in 0.5 is a bunch of quality of life changes for the campaign. The campaign will now have clues on the ground that lead you to your next objective during the campaign. Some examples are a trail of dead animals in the hunting grounds that lead you to the Crow Bell, a posted sign that points towards the village in Act 1, or the explorers in Act 3 will point towards the next area in the jungle to progress the story. They have also made some big quality of life changes to the campaign, like changing the levers you have to pull in Act 3 to pressure pads you just have to stand on. Little changes like this throughout the entire campaign should make the experience way better for both new players and experienced. Before we go, I have 4 honorable mentions. Number 1, Divine Orbs will be more common. GGG said this is in direct relation to the Val Temple dropping so many last league. Now that the temple is balanced, they don't want players to be thrown off by the amount of divines they drop. Number 2, some unique item modifiers will be able to be turned into socketable ruins. In certain scenarios, this will be very powerful for a lot of builds moving forward. Number 3, the Atlas Tree has some new quality of life features like search and being able to be zoomed out further. This is a big W. Number 4, and maybe my favorite, resistance swaps are coming to PoE 2. There's a new item coming to the game called a Flux that allows you to swap resistances. You could swap something like Cold Res for fire if that's what you need on your gear. This is another massive W and something the community has been asking for a long time. Those are the biggest changes coming to PoE in 0.5. If you found this video useful, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more PoE 2 news and opinions. As always, I am Kev, the mid-tier gamer, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.